So share with us your strategy behind YouTube and give us some of the tips and tricks. Let's pretend everyone on here listening in right now, we're all gonna go start our YouTube channel to educate our passive investors and attract passive investors. Give us the playbook on that.
I don't know if I have the playbook. It's out of everything that I've done, it's been the hardest to grow on, and
Mm.
I've been doing YouTube, I think, a little over 3 years for about 5 close to 500 videos, and what's weird with YouTube is you never know when it's just gonna start showing your video. Like, for instance, my top my number 2 video, for the first year, it got, like, 800 views. That's it. And then all of a sudden, something with the algorithm or I don't know what happened, and now it's got over 100,000 views
Oh wow.
for what and then my number 1 video, it's got 100 and think 60,000 views, and I did it like 4 months
Wow.
ago.
Wow.
You never know with it's so nice because it's evergreen. If you do an Instagram reel or Facebook post or something, it's gone after a day.
Yep.
People aren't gonna
Yep.
come back to that. But that's why I like YouTube. I read the book Who Not How, and
Hmm.
that's what got me to start my channel because there was so many how questions that kept me from starting it. How do I edit them? How do I come up with ideas? How do I make the thumbnails? How do I publish them? Once I found a who to do it for me, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So the who that you found to do all of that thumbnail editing stuff, is it an agency or do they work for you full time?
I've used I started off with multiple people, and then one of the YouTube coaches that I used early on, I noticed one time we were doing a screen share like this, and he said, "Yeah, they were supposed to edit your video, whatever." And he shared a screen, and I saw who they were using. And then once I wasn't using that YouTube coach anymore, I started using that group, and they have VAs overseas, and and there's tons of them out there. I just picked the one that we were already using, but yeah, all I literally do is I'm standing in front of my web camera right now,
Hmm.
and this is actually a whiteboard, so I have this thing, but I usually do stuff on
I
the
see.
whiteboard, and that's it. I hit record, I do my thing, I send them the file, that's it. If you can record a video at your web camera, that's all I do. You can go to my
Wow.
YouTube channel and you can watch it, and
It's that simple, huh?
I do have some stuff where I'm out and I've had people film me and stuff, but 95% of the videos, that's what it's basically done. That's
Wow.
how I've
Okay.
done it. So don't let the and I'll drop it in the chat over here if people want to look at
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah.
people want to
So
look at the format.
yeah, and do they so they do like very fancy editing or their editing is more plain, more not as hypey and you know how some YouTubers like they do a lot of editing and like flashy and things like that.
Mhm.
Is yours more a simple style editing?
Yeah, they could do it as flashy or as plain as you want. I just had to every now and then, I'd probably say once or twice a month, I'll make a comment like, "Hey, that and do this with the B-roll or change this out or maybe do a little bit more or that's too much." But and then
I see.
it's not too flashy, but it's enough to where it keeps people interested.
Gotcha. All
Mhm.
right, let's talk about content ideas. How do you, yeah, so what kind of content do you share? And then how do you get ideas for the content? 300 something videos is a lot of videos, right? So that's a lot
It's
of
close to
ideas.
500 videos now.
500. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So how did you come up with your topic ideas?
It's actually pretty easy. It's at first I just was taking all my blog posts that were doing well and I was
Mm,
modifying them and change
love
and
that.
that's easy. So I did that for the first couple hundred, but now I don't do that anymore. Now I will when people ask me, so for instance, somebody in my Facebook group the other day asked me, what are some of the tax benefits of investing in a syndication? That's a great video. So I'll listen to what people ask. So you want to give people your group, your following what they want. If
Hmm.
there's and then the videos that I learn from and channels that I'm subscribed to, that's how I get my content ideas. Like, oh yeah, that would be really good to talk about cost segregation and how it would affect your taxes or whatever, or things like that.
There's not a lot of content creators in our syndication space. You're probably among the top them of them, right?
As far as syndications, I don't know of too many. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure there's like Grant Cardone. I mean, I guess you would
right.
say so people like that, but he's now more in doing other stuff because again, all of his multifamily, I'm sure is
Yeah,
not paying. So he's switched to other things. But yeah, it's a small niche. And I would encourage people to don't be generic. Like you want to talk to whatever, if you're an IT person, we'll talk to the IT people, but you're naturally going to get other people that are going to come
I
to your
see.
content. If you're an IT person or whatever, you can talk the talk.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I love that. So, in how do you have a formula for how long the video should be? Anything like that?
Yeah. So my coach was telling me you want to do so to get I think to get them to start doing ads on
Hmm.
your channel, you have to, and that takes the longest. That took me like a year and a half, almost 2 years. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, and you will get that before you get the watch time. The watch time, I think they have to have 4,000 hours of watch time. Most people drop off after the first, if it's a 10-minute video, after 3 or 4 minutes, they drop off. So he says he recommends minimum 10 minutes. Because if you make all
Okay.
these little 2 and 3 minute videos and they drop off quick, it'll take you forever to get the watch time.
Ah,
Does that make
that makes
sense?
sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so like they watch about a third of the video or so,
Mhm.
and so you're trying to capture them that way. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Mhm.
And anything else around, do you come up with the title of each videos yourself, or does the team, the editing team comes up with that?
I come up with that, and again, I didn't start using ChatGPT to help me until last
Uh,
year. So I was coming up, I was just modifying the titles that I was already seeing out there that if
mhm.
I made a video about cap rate explained or something like that, I would just modify. But now with Chat GPT and AI, I get a lot of different content ideas, variations, and I really get it to dumb it down to eighth or ninth grade reading level because a lot of these videos out there, they make it so complex. And when you get the AI to change it to that, it's so much easier to explain
Mm.
because people are really clueless about all this stuff. And I know I was, and the simpler you can make it, I think the better.
That makes a lot of sense. I love that. I never even thought of that because
Hmm.
I do watch some videos, especially videos on like the economy and things like that. It's pretty advanced stuff. And I never thought about putting that into ChatGPT and simplifying the language and dumbing down the language. That's amazing. What about humor? Do you use humor much in your videos?
Yeah, a little bit. I have a dry sense of humor. So I just, at first, I was trying to be somebody who I wasn't on some of my earlier videos. And I don't know if it was one of my kids or somebody watched a video and they were like, why aren't you telling jokes like you normally do or whatever? Because they knew me. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I need to just nonchalantly do some stuff. And so just whoever you are without the camera in your face,
Uh-huh.
just be that person on the camera and just be who you're going to be. That would be my recommendation.
That's great, great advice. Okay, what about going back to the topic a little bit? Does the topic of the video and the topic of the thumbnail has to be the same, or can they be very different?
Now, the group that does my stuff, they do the thumbnails, and I know it could be more advanced. Some people do thumbnail testing and this and that, but I'll let them do it. But most of the thumbnails are 2 to 3 words to catch your attention. So
Okay.
if let's just say you're going to do seven things to save taxes on in 2025. And then like your thumbnail is going to be something like tax secrets 2025. Take part of that and modify. But again, you can use AI. Once you get your title, you can put an AI and go give me, and it'll tell you, it'll say, okay, put a picture of a mobile home with your face on the side and it'll give you recommendations. So it's again, it's changed quite a bit since I started.